Hi y'all, Justin with Kayak Catfish. I am trying to turn myself away from the sun here first thing. I've got pretty good distance away from the car and realized I have made a fatal mistake this morning. I have left my sunglasses in the cup holder back there. So apparently I'm gonna be fishing with my eyes closed out here today because the sun's gonna be blinding here once it pops back out from behind the cloud. But anyway, I'm on my way to fish a creek up here. Gonna do some crappie fishing today. I come out here a few days ago and just flat out wore out a crappie. Got on some good sized crappie too, in the up to 13.5 inches, and just caught a ton of them. So I'm gonna just take advantage and if they're still here and just hopefully have some more ultralight fun this morning. And if the crappie's not there, well, I'm sure there'll be something else back there, whether it be yellow bass, bluegill, whatever. The nice thing about ultralight fishing and throwing small plastics on small jig heads is you catch a little bit of everything as the kayak turns me into that sun. But if I can hold my eyes open long enough to cast, we're gonna catch some kind of fish today. So come along with me, let's go do it. All right guys, those crappie are right where I left them at the other day, up under this dock. I can see them stacked up behind those, on those posts. Here's the first one that's closest to me, but there's a big school of them farther on back, up under this dock there, way back there by them posts. So I'm gonna start making some casts and try to get them. One thing that has changed out here in the last couple days is the water level has dropped. It's come down a couple feet, so it's gonna make casting these jigs up under the dock a whole lot easier than what I was dealing with the other day. I kept nailing the dock, but today I'm gonna be able to skip them way back up under there. So if you're new to my channel, and you haven't seen me do any ultralight fishing before, I've been using this combo here for years. This is a St. Croix Panfish Series rod. It's 6 foot long, ultralight action. I've got an Abu Garcia reel, 2-pound test trout magnet SOS line. And I'm gonna start out throwing a crappie magnet. This is just a black and chartreuse crappie magnet, 1/32 ounce jig head. And I'm gonna put a little Procure scent on here. I was trying this out here the other day. I don't know if it helps or hurts. It don't hurt, but I don't know that it helps. But I'm just gonna dab a little of this on my jig here, give it some scent. It's a gizzard shad scent there. That's the primary forage species out here on this body of water is shad. So skip that way back up under there and see what we can pull out today. I'm just going to cast and retrieve. It looks like those fish are pretty close to the surface. They're hugging those poles back there, but it looked like they were not down very deep. I'm currently setting in 12 feet here where I'm at, and it looks like they're down 2 to 4 feet deep. So I'm gonna have to get repositioned here with the kayak in a second so I can make a better cast over there where they're at. Oh, I got hit. We're gonna catch some fish today, y'all. There's something. Let's see what fish number one's gonna be. Come on, be a crappie for me. Be a crappie. Oh, it is. Mission accomplished. Got what I was out here to get. Come here, crappie. I gotta bust my measuring board out of the front hatch. They gotta be 10 inches to keep, and I am gonna keep a couple here in the bucket. Nice. Crappie number one. I don't have my board out here yet, but he's probably in that 11, 12 inch range. That's a nice size crappie. That's a better view right there on the live scope. I mean, they are just stacked all the way to the very back there. They're just all around those beams. We're gonna have a good day. Yeah, we're gonna catch one on that cast for sure. Just like that. Just like that. I've caught a couple more that won't be on camera, y'all. I'm so excited getting out here. After the last clip, I forgot to reset my camera. And so I'm reeling in fish talking, and then I go to reset the next clip, and like, well, crap, the dang thing wasn't even running. So I'm gonna keep me one more keeper. for my bucket there, I was saying on that last clip that you won't see because I wasn't recording, but I don't keep any of these fish to eat. People ask me that all the time. Our water's contaminated. It's not safe to eat them. But I do like using them for catfish bait, which is legal here where I fish, as long as they're caught on rod and reel and meet the minimum size requirements for both where you catch the crappie at and where you're using them for bait at. And that's 10 inches out here, all the places that I fish. So I'm gonna keep me one more from a bucket. I got 3 in there right now. And then after that, I'm just gonna be just fun fishing, just catching, because I like to catch them. I like catching everything, the ultralight. I ain't found a fish yet, except for maybe a channel cat, that I don't like catching on the ultralight. They just all pull like a dick. Even the channel cats fight hard on the ultralight. They just get your line all slimed up and twisted up and all that stuff. There's another one. It's a much slower bite today, y'all. I'm making several casts per fish, it seems like. That's bluegill right there. You lucky bluegill, I ain't keeping none of you today. Oop, oop. He didn't even want to be showed off to the camera. But I mean, there's a bunch of fish up under this dock. I mean, you can just see them everywhere on the live scope. But I mean, I'm throwing cast after cast after cast in there. Now, one thing that's different today, in addition to the water drop, is the time of day is different. I'm fishing in the morning hours today. It's 9 o'clock here now. Whereas when I was out here a few days ago, I was in the afternoon hours after the sun had heated up the water a few degrees. So I don't know if maybe that's playing a role. Right there, boy, something thumped me right there, man. That's a better fish. Come up from that pole there, okay. That's a better fish. Come on, fishy. Come on, fish. I still ain't got to look at it yet. I don't even know if it's a crappie. That might be a white bass or something. No, that's a crappie. It's just a big one. That's a real big crappie. Oh, yeah, that's a big crappie. Come here, crappie. I want to get my hands on you. Oh, yeah. Look at that fish right there, guys. Holy cow, that's a nice crappie. Let me put him on the board there for you. Man, that one right there, he'll graze that 14-inch line. Nice slab, y'all. Nice slab. Check that out right there, man. That one's worthy of being front camera. I'm excited. I can't get my words out. That's front camera worthy right there. 14-inch slab, man. All right. I'm actually going to let this one go. Heck of a crappie, man. See ya, crappie. Go down there and get even bigger. That was a good time. Let's do that again. Dab a little bit more of this shad stuff on here. Like I said, I don't know if it helps, but it for dang sure don't hurt. I may have to turn my spot lock off here on the trolling motor too. It keeps, that was a terrible cast, wasn't it? Well, good gosh. One for the blooper reels here. Even with that water level down, I'm still plunking that dock, man. My spot lock keeps going every which direction. Ain't no current back here, and the wind's blowing just enough to move me. And so that spot lock's always wanting to hold you in that position, so it's just all over the place. The other day, I just had to turn it off and just keep repositioning every few fish, and so that's probably what I'm gonna have to end up doing today. Fish. Well, I had to go way up under there for that one. Oh no, he's got me around that pole with my 2-pound line. Please come out of there. Come out. There he comes. I'm gonna have to retie here in a minute. You start running around these poles and stuff with your, that's a bluegill. That ain't even a crappie. I don't mind catching these though. I mean, they're bluegill on my ultralight setup that size. They'll put a bend in the rod, man. I'm gonna have to retie here in a second though. I've been running around them poles enough that don't take much abrasion to break you off when you're using 2-pound line. But I like that 2-pound line because I can cast light jigs long distances with it. Seem to get more bites the lighter the line you go. I sure don't want to break off on a big fish either. All right, guys, so I took a second to retie here since I'd wrapped around them poles so many times. And when I did, I've put on a new bait. I've downsized. This is a trout magnet, green and black color, with a little of that Procure gizzard shad scent on there. But I'm gonna throw a little bit smaller lure, still on a 1/32 ounce head, but a little bit smaller profile, and see if that don't get me a few more bites. It has just been, for that many fish under there, you would think I'd be getting bit just a little bit more than I am, but I'm making a lot of casts without even so much as a peck at my bait. So we're gonna mix it up here, see if this helps our calls any. There's something. Finally, I come over here and hit this dock from a different angle. I thought maybe downsizing the lure, hitting from a different angle, doing something, just changing it up. Small crappie, but it's something. The bite has not been fast and furious, that is for sure. I got, a few fish there pretty quickly after getting started fishing, but then they just kind of shut down. And there's so many fish under there, when I'm bringing that lure through, they're seeing it. They have to be. I mean, even in this muddy water, as many of them's up under there, I pretty much got to be almost plunking them in the head as I'm reeling it in. So I'd kind of like to move on and leave this dock alone for a little while and then come back to it. But there's 2 other boats out here in this creek. They've both seen me catching fish off this dock, and I know as soon as I pull off of here, at least one of them's going to be up here on it, and I won't be able to fish this dock again the rest of the morning. So I'm just going to make sure I hammer it real good here before I move on. I want to make sure I'm done with it. But I'm going to reel this in and just show you again. These fish, they haven't moved. You can still see them right there. They're on that second post, second and third post. This thing, the tape is pointing where that is. I mean, they're just right up under here and just stacked. I mean, just flat out stacked. And yet they don't want to touch that jig for nothing. Well, when all else fails, throw the gulp minnow, right? I'm gonna put a 1-inch gulp on. That's a smelt color. I don't know how this is going to do in this really muddy water. Water's been muddy in this creek anyway, and then since I fished out here, we had a little bit more rain, which darkened it up even more. So we ain't gonna know until we throw a gulp up under there though, so slide this on. It's a little bit bigger hook right here. This is I believe a number 6 hook on this jig. A little bit bigger than what I like on these 1-inch gulp. I like a number 8 hook, but we'll make that work. Let's just throw that under there. Last ditch effort here. Maybe give them a little bit different scent, a little bit different action than the trout magnet and the crappie magnet. It can't hurt, right? But if this don't work, I'm gonna leave these fish alone. And I'm gonna move further on back in this creek and see what else I can find with the live scope. I just really wanted to make sure I hit this area under this dock thoroughly because one, obviously there's a ton of fish here as I nail that dock again. And two, because of the other people out here. I'm filming this on a Friday, and so more people on the water today, and here's something. Again, a couple of these boats have already seen me catching fish, so I know they'll be all over this dock here in a minute as soon as I leave. Another small crappie. I don't know how, it's tough for me to tell looking up under there with the live scope how big these fish are. But the other day when I was out here, I mean, they were good sized crappie. I mean, they were dang near all of them I caught were keepers. 10 to 13 and a half inches was the biggest one I got. Here's another one. Maybe we just need to go to the Gulf. Muddy water, they don't seem to mind. They don't seem to mind it being a light color. And then, of course, out here today, the biggest one I got was 14 inches, so far. So I know there's some bigger fish mixed in under there. I'm gonna throw this one on the board. If he'll be the last one I keep in the bucket. No, he's a little bit short. He's about 9 3/4. You lucky, crappie. You lucky. Most people don't like being short. Most people don't. They can't reach stuff on tall shelves, but it saved your life, crappie. You be thankful. That old crappie, he don't know how lucky he is, does he? He's down there, upset with himself, having to ask his friends at the grocery store to reach that cereal box on the top shelf. And in reality, being short just saved his life. Maybe he'll appreciate having to climb up on a stool next time he needs to reach something in the pantry. Oh, something hit me right then. Felt thump. Well, the thump was bigger than the fish. It's so frustrating, y'all. I know there's a ton of fish under there. And I have made 1,000,000 casts. Crappie magnet, the trout magnet, now the gulp. And I just can't really get them to do anything for me. It is what it is, though. You can find these fish with the live scope, but you can't make them bite. They're gonna eat when they're gonna eat, I guess. Well, I've got a few, but I think my expectations were pretty high. Coming out here, having the trip I had the other day, just getting so many and such good quality, and then immediately finding them in the same place here on the live scope, I really thought I was going to tear them up again, and thus far it's just not been the case. I'm going to keep after them, though. I'm going to fish this dock just a little while longer, then I'm going to move on down further in this creek here and try to find a little bit warmer water. The surface temps the other day were 58 degrees. Now, granted, we had some more rain. They've dropped the water. Had a fairly cool night last night, and now surface temps this morning here is 51. So, this change in water temperatures, the water level fluctuation, the clarity of the water, all that stuff plays effect. But typically, when you throw in a small plastic on a jig head, if you put it in front of a fish, they're typically going to eat it. But that's just not the case today. Oh, well, it is on this one. Yeah, it's another real small crappie. Another small junior sized. This is I like to say golly whopper when I'm catfishing. This will be a junior whopper at the Burger King here. There you go, little crappie. You go home and tell him you got you one of them cardboard crowns at the Burger King. Y'all remember them? I used to get them when I was a kid. I don't know if they still do that at Burger King or not. If they do, you need to take your kids in there and get one of them old Burger King crowns. That's the best part of going to Burger King. I remember one time, and I'm aging myself here, but one time, McDonald's back in the day at the Happy Meal, they always had the best toys. But one time Burger King had Alf. Y'all remember that TV show Alf? Furry looking alien back in the day. I loved that show as a kid. And the one time that Burger King had good toys in their version of the Happy Meal was when Alf was popular, and they had those Alf puppets. And I had to have every one of them. I haven't seen an episode of Alf in years. I probably wouldn't like it as much now, but man, as a kid, that show was awesome. All right, enough of 80s TV talk here. Let me get back to plunking this dock some more. Make a few more casts as I about knock my plastic off. Even with this water down, I still can't make a decent cast for the life of me. I'm gonna make just a few more casts under here though, and then I'm gonna move on and work my way back in this creek, and then some other boater that's seen me catch fish here, they'll come up and just shellac them in here. That's how it goes. There's a little better thump. No, just another small crappie. I switched out my gulp. Thought I might get a little bit more gulp juice on there, a little bit more scent going. One thing about it, with this muddy water, I didn't think the other day when I come out anyway, I didn't think the gulp would be the best choice to throw, just because I like the smelt color under normal conditions, just because it represents shad. And so I was throwing the crappie magnet and trout magnet in the darker colors because I thought it would show up better, be easier for these fish to see in the muddy water. Well, these fish, they don't seem to have any issue seeing the gulp down there as it goes through. They see it, they just don't want to eat it. Oh, right here, something hit me right then, man. That don't feel right, guys. That feels like a channel cat. Please don't be a channel cat. It feels like, dadgummit, I'm pretty confident that's a channel cat, guys. Y'all know how I feel about them things. Dadgummit. They fight hard on this ultralight, but boy, they get your line all slimed up, twisted up. I guarantee you that I can just feel him down there just doing his thing. Dadgummit. Come on up here, channel kitty. I'm liable to throw this thing in the bucket too. I get a look at him here, see how big he is. He's liable to go in there and be fed to some blue cats on my next trip, like these other crappie in the bucket. I did not mean to hook into this fish today. I never mean to hook into them. They just, every time I go catfishing, I get pecked with them. They down there chewing up my catfish baits. I go ultralight fishing, they own my jigs. It's just, in Florida, I love fishing for them sharks down there. It was a great time, but all them Florida fishermen hate the sharks. They call them the tax man because they're after other fish. The way I see it, these channel cats, they're like the tax man of Tennessee. When you go fishing, you after something else, and these things up here, they come eat your bait or tear up your jigs. Yeah, that in there. A lot of yous, out up north, out west and stuff, you get big channel cats. This right here is about the size that we get. Just big enough to be a nuisance. We don't get no 20, 30 pounders. It's a rare sight to see a channel cat that big here in East Tennessee. I'm sure they're here somewhere, a few of them, but for the most part, it's this size right here and smaller that just terrorize you. Channel cat, I did not mean to hook you. I didn't mean to do it. I didn't want to do it. You're going to break my line now. You quit. He did. He just broke my line. Dadgummit. Well, I was going to have to retie anyway because they get your line again. They just sit down there and roll and get all twisted up and get that slime on there. If I told y'all lately how bad I hate them damn things. There's something. Is that another channel cat? I hope that ain't another one. I've marked some fish right here on them tree branches that's dangling in the water. But that last one I hooked was the dang channel cat. I've retied here. I've put a crappie magnet back on. Put a little of that Procure Gizzard Shad stuff on it. And I think I've got another daggone channel cat. That may be what I'm marking right there. This one here I don't believe is as big, but I'm pretty confident it's another channel cat. Look at him, just a pulling man. They'll strip some drag for you. They'll do that, but boy, just a nuisance of a fish. One fella in the comments the other day told me since I don't like channel cats, I shouldn't have the channel name Kayak Catfish since I don't like catfish apparently. I thought that's pretty stupid because, you know, there's another kind of catfish on the internet too. It's, you know, old men that pretend to be women and stuff and you know, try to get dates with people pretending to be somebody that they ain't. That's the other kind of catfish. I don't like, oh, he come free. Good. That and broke all. It was a catfish. You see my slime up my line right there. Good. That and I'm gonna move that slime way on up here. Daggone thing. But anyway, I don't like them other kind of catfish either. Channel cats or the old men that pretend to be women and get dates with you online and stuff. I don't like them either. All kinds of catfish in this world, people. Not all of them are like the blues and the flatheads that I like to catch. There's one. Let's see what this is. Oh, that's bluegill. Yeah, I didn't know. I seen some marks right there, and I said, well, I'm gonna make a few casts. That's the best way to figure out what the marks on the screen are, is to make a cast in there. Fish there could barely get that crappie magnet in his mouth. But he said, you know what, it's an easy meal, and he's gonna try. I'm gonna throw back over there and just make sure that those are bluegill. See if I can get any more here. There's something. Yeah, he's doing circles like a bluegill. He's hard pulling though, man. He's bluegill, man. He found him a leaf down there. Look at that. He thought he had him a Halloween costume in that leaf. That's a thick one, man. Look at that. That's a nice bluegill. He's not very long. Probably, I'll throw him on the board here, probably 7 inches. But thick, buddy. I mean, thick bluegill. Yeah, he don't even meet the 8-inch mark there. But just a dang good fighting fish, pretty fish. I like me some bluegill, y'all, and as I've mentioned so many times before, this ultralight setup, it's just fish like that. You get a 6-7 inch bluegill on this rod and reel combo, you in for a good time, and you can catch the heck out of them, especially as we get on into the warmer months. You know, once our water temps get above 60 degrees consistently, you can just wear out the bluegill on this ultralight setup. I normally throw a gulp. Today, you know, I'm kind of mixing it up, throwing a little bit of everything. Got the crappie magnet on right now. Something hit me right then. But, you know, again, pick your favorite plastic. Just small plastic, small jig heads with some, you know, match your hook size to the bait. If I'm throwing a 1-inch gulp, I normally throw it on a 1/64 ounce jig head with a number 8 hook. This crappie magnet, here's another one. This crappie magnet I'm throwing on 1/32 ounce head, and I believe they're number 6 hooks, I believe. Yeah, bluegill there got it though. He didn't have no trouble eating that bigger hook, did he? He's a hungry little devil this morning. He says, it's past breakfast time. It's brunch time right now. He's like some of them rich people that eat brunch. I ain't never met a poor person that ate brunch. Always people that's got more money than they know what to do with. They eat brunch. They play bridge. They wear them, when they take their houseboats out, they wear them hats, like little sailing hats. They've got collared shirts on with an embroidered emblem on them. Those are the kind of people that eat brunch. I ain't never met a common man like me, somebody that enjoys going to wrestling shows and the flea market. I ain't never met anybody like me that ever ate brunch. But that bluegill and those people I mentioned, they eat them some brunch. I'll never fit in with those people. There's one. We're gonna get one more after all, y'all. Yeah, another little crappie right there. Another little crappie. I circled back to this dock. I had to hit it again before I left here. And managed to get one more. I've been here about 10 minutes fishing this dock again, and it's just, they're just shut down, man. I went back in this creek, scanning all the way out here with the live scope, looking up, and just haven't found a good concentration of fish other than up under this dock. You know, the other day there were fish from the back all the way out. I just kept running into schools of fish, yellow bass, crappie, bluegill, etc. And today, I don't know if it's the water drop, the temperature drop in the water, I don't know, but the bite's definitely been a little different today. I have got some fish, but just up under this dock here, they just ain't having it right now. I talked to one of those other boats that was back here, and they said they had got some crappie first thing this morning. They'd found some on a tree and was biting real good, and their bite had kind of shut off too. They actually left a little while ago, so I don't know, maybe it's a timing thing. Who knows? I can second guess myself till I'm blue in the face. It's kind of the blessing and the curse of live scope when you find a concentration of fish up under a dock like this. It's great because, you know, you don't waste time fishing places where there aren't fish. But at the same time, when you do see a big school and they're not eating, you end up spending way more time there than what you should when you could have just been moving on looking for more active fish. So blessing and a curse, but thankful for the fish I got. That one crappie, 14 inches, that's a citation size here in Tennessee. The Tennessee Angler Recognition Program, 14 inches and up. Well, you know, if I wasn't so dang cheap, I could send in $5 and they'd mail me a certificate, but I don't do all that. But nevertheless, that was a nice crappie. I got some more here for the bucket. So it's been a good morning. Wish I could stay a little longer, but I got to get out of here. Let's do it again soon. I'll see you then. Thanks for watching.